What if I told you that the crisis facing men in 2025 has nothing to do with economics, politics, or even relationships, and everything to do with something far more ancient, far more internal, and far more terrifying, something invisible, yet heavy enough to bend the spine of a generation? Right now, millions of men across the world wake up each morning with a gnawing emptiness in their chest. They don't talk about it, they don't even fully understand it, but they feel it. A dull, constant ache, as if their soul is quietly screaming beneath the surface and no one is listening. Before we dive into this powerful truth, take a second to subscribe to the channel where we strip away the lies, confront the uncomfortable, and challenge you to dig deeper into what truly makes you whole. This isn't just another motivational video. This is a journey into the raw truth of why men feel lost and how to find the map back to meaning. Let's begin with a question. When did we start asking men to be everything and nothing all at once? In 2025, the modern man is flooded with contradictions. He's told to be strong but not too aggressive. He's expected to be emotionally open but not too vulnerable. He must lead but never dominate. Provide but not boast. Protect but don't control. And in this labyrinth of blurred lines, many men are quietly crumbling, not in some cinematic meltdown but in slow, invisible collapses. One ignored dream, one silenced opinion, one abandoned belief at a time. Rewind a few thousand years. Ancient civilizations didn't leave men guessing. There were clear rites of passage. The Spartan agoge, the Native American vision quest, the samurai's Bushido code. Boys became men not by accident but through fire, through discipline, through sacred initiation into purpose. In those worlds, a man's identity was forged in trial and sealed in duty. But today, the trials are gone. And in their absence, something dangerous has crept in. Drift. Drift is the enemy with no face. It's the aimless scrolling at 2 a.m. and the 9th coffee to silence the void. The job you hate but won't leave. The relationship you endure rather than build. Drift doesn't scream, it whispers. And by the time you realize you're in its grip, it's already stolen years. Take Ethan, for example. A 32-year-old graphic designer from Portland. By all accounts, he has it all. A decent job, a girlfriend, a condo with minimalist furniture and scented candles. But inside, Ethan is empty. He admits, "I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not sure I ever did." He wakes up, works, eats, scrolls, sleeps, repeat. He's not in pain, but he's not alive either. And he's not alone. Studies now show that men are more likely than ever before to report feeling purposeless, isolated, and directionless. Rates of male depression and suicide are surging globally. Loneliness is no longer a silent epidemic, it's a roaring one. And yet the world still expects men to soldier on with a smile. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Men aren't just feeling lost, they're being erased. Erased from classrooms where boys fall behind in literacy and are more likely to be diagnosed with behavioral issues. Erased from media, where masculinity is often mocked, villainized, or portrayed as obsolete. Erased from their own families, where fatherlessness is on the rise and traditional roles are labeled as toxic. And in this erasure, something sacred has been forgotten. The masculine soul's hunger for mission. Not just career success, not just sexual conquest, but a mission, a higher calling, something to fight for, to build, to protect. Without it, a man loses his edge. His spine bends, his eyes dim. And the tragedy is most don't even know why. They just feel it. The ache. That sense that they were meant for more even if they can't explain what more is. It's no coincidence that the most successful male influencers today are not entertainers or businessmen, but warriors. Men who speak of strength, honor, sacrifice, and purpose. From fitness gurus to stoic philosophers, millions are flocking to voices that offer a map out of the drift. Because deep down every man knows he was born to conquer something. But here's the plot twist. The number one reason men feel lost in 2025 is because they've been taught to fear their own nature. Not master it, not refine it, but fear it. We've told men that ambition is dangerous, that competitiveness is oppressive, that leadership is suspect, and in doing so, we've severed them from their instincts, from their drive to build, protect, and push against resistance. Instead, we've given them a dopamine drip of artificial highs, likes, porn, fast food, meaningless goals. and it's killing them softly. The fix isn't another podcast. It's not a protein shake or a morning routine. It starts with a brutal question. What pain are you running from? Because buried beneath the drift behind the fear is a fire waiting to be relit. Every man carries a wound. Maybe it was a father who left, a dream that died, a betrayal never confronted. Whatever it is, that wound holds the key. You don't find your mission by chasing comfort. You find it by confronting your pain and choosing to rise anyway. To fix this crisis, we must restore the forgotten language of manhood, not through macho cliches or outdated dogma, but through responsibility, strength, and self-conquest. Through discipline, not imposed from the outside, but chosen from within. And that journey begins where most are too afraid to look, in the silence, in the mirror. In the question, who am I when no one is watching? The world doesn't need more passive men, it needs awake ones. Men who are dangerous not because they're reckless, but because they are disciplined. Men who are soft-spoken but unshakable. Men who have faced the void and chosen to build meaning inside it. This isn't just a call to arms, it's a call to soul. Because if you want to know how to fix the sense of being lost, it starts with remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Imagine a man standing on the edge of a cliff looking out over a vast, dark wilderness. That wilderness is his future. He doesn't know which direction to go. He has no compass, no torch, no voice in the distance calling him home. That's what it feels like to be a man in 2025. We've stripped away the maps, erased the milestones, and drowned out the instincts that once guided men toward meaning. And the question that echoes in this silence is the same one men have been asking themselves for generations, whether they were Roman soldiers, samurai, or steel workers. Am I enough? But how does a man answer that question when every benchmark has been replaced with digital noise? When every success is measured in clicks, followers, or approval from people who don't even know his name? The truth is, we've built a society that thrives on distracted men. Men who don't think too deeply. Men who consume instead of create. Men who follow trends instead of forging paths. Why? Because focused, disciplined, mission-driven men are hard to manipulate. And so the system rewards apathy. It sells comfort. It promotes weakness disguised as sensitivity. It shames strength unless it's in service to the hive mind. But here's the secret that history has always known. Men were not designed to be tame. They were designed to confront chaos, to face dragons and build kingdoms. That doesn't mean violence, it means order. It means confronting the chaos within first, the addictions, the distractions, the rage, the despair, and forging something sacred out of it. The number one reason men feel lost in 2025 is because they've been told there's no dragon to slay, no mountain worth climbing, no cause worth dying for. But when a man has no battle, he becomes his own worst enemy. Take Marcus, a 41-year-old father of two. He works a job he hates, drinks too much on weekends, and hasn't worked out in 5 years. But when his son was bullied at school, something ancient lit up inside him. Not rage, resolve. He joined a local martial arts gym, started getting up at 5 a.m., and began volunteering at his son's school. Not because a motivational speaker told him to, but because he remembered that his strength isn't just for him, it's for others. For purpose doesn't come from the world. It comes from your choice to build, regardless of how the world responds. You build your body not to impress, but to be prepared. You sharpen your mind not for argument, but for wisdom. You control your emotions not to be numb, but to be immovable. When a man chooses responsibility over comfort, discipline over indulgence, and truth over popularity, he becomes something rare in 2025. He becomes anchored. And anchoring doesn't mean having all the answers. It means standing firm when nothing makes sense. It means leading even when you're scared. It means speaking truth when your voice shakes. Anchored men don't drift. They direct. They forge paths not only for themselves, but for everyone watching them. Sons, brothers, wives, communities. And the irony is, the more a man aligns with his true nature, the more peace he finds. Not the peace of passivity, but the peace of knowing who he is and what he stands for. That peace becomes a shield. A man with a mission doesn't chase attention. He commands respect. He doesn't need validation, he embodies value. So what's the next step? It's not grand, it's small, but it's relentless. Wake up earlier, move your body, say no to things that weaken you. Read real books, call your father, forgive the people who hurt you, set a standard, raise it again, lead quietly, serve fiercely. And above all, remember that your pain has a purpose, because the path back from feeling lost is not found in a moment. It's carved in 1,000 daily choices, and with each step the fog begins to lift. You start to see the outline of who you were always meant to be. Not the version shaped by the culture, but the one shaped by courage. And if you're still listening, maybe you felt that fire begin to flicker again. That's not an accident, that's your ancient self remembering. The boy who once dreamed of adventure. The teen who wanted to change the world. The man who still wants to matter. He's not gone. He's waiting. So don't run from the wilderness. Enter it, because men are not meant to be safe. They're meant to be good. And goodness requires strength. Not the strength to control others, but the strength to control yourself. To endure, to rise again and again, and to stand for something when the world demands that you kneel. In 2025, it is easy to feel lost. But maybe that's not a curse, maybe it's an invitation to stop drifting, to start building, and to rediscover the sacred truth that every real man eventually learns. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to stand up, so stand. And if this spoke to something deep inside you, something that's been silent for too long, share this video with another man who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below, and most importantly, start, because you already know the way. You just forgot that you were made to walk it.